G'day Ron, just giving an update on the post-Gary world I'm in. I've been working the last month at various friends' places. Cheers for giving me just some nice free spaces to do a bit of work on a few things. Now, the main thing is the Gary movie, which is fucking taking a lot of time, 80 minutes, just getting the story together. And, obviously I could just fucking upload it to the net and millions of people watch it, and I'll be still fucking broke because there's no money in just making sheer content unless you go to some producers and directors who then go, we'll fuck around with it. It'll be our project. Might give you a little bit at the end of it, and then they go and release it in something like a fucking cinema or TV or something where people pay to watch it. And then when it eventually gets released on DVD or something, someone can upload it to the net, and by that time your load's done in terms of getting income from it. So I'm just mainly trying to get it as far as I can without other people getting involved, just what I think the Gary story should be. But there's a lot of edits and perhaps special effects that are well beyond my capabilities just on Movie Maker, cut and paste, render from me fucking phone footage. But I'm working on it. And the other thing I'm been working on is the Gary Taxiderm. Now, I'm getting him taxiderm shagging another goat. We haven't got the other goat. If anyone's got a little miniature goat that dies and you can get it to a freezer within a few hours, we'll use that. Prefer that than just going out and fucking shooting an animal. But yeah, Gary will be shagging another goat, and then there'll be a sign underneath saying the only fuck that Gary ever gave. How fucking good would that be? I don't think a museum will take it, but someone might want to fucking put it somewhere. I don't know. That's what I'm going for. That's 13 grand. So I haven't got that at the moment, but they've tanned his skin, so he's on hold. He's in the freezer, and we're just waiting on that. And also a Gary statue. I've got a really good bronze statue company, and the best sculptor in Australia for bronze statues. I don't know if you saw anyone seen the one down in Corryong? Anyway, man from Snowy River on a horse. Anyway, the guy did that's doing it. It's going to be fucking probably 60 grand, which is way out of my budget, but they've told me this fundraising avenue where they make little ones and then sell it off to people who fucking want it for a grand or two, and then the profit from that can fund the big one which they're making. So they're giving me a pathway on that. I'll keep you updated on that, but they're just doing the moulds of what they want Gary to be, which will be him standing on a case of beer, which is how I got him. Bought him for a case of beer, so doing that. Or I also want a bubbler coming out of his cock. Fucking, that'd be great. So, like in Lourdes, they got the holy water where the Virgin Mary was meant to be seen in the cave. Gary can be like maybe the fucking patron saint of fucking hangovers in Australia, where you just go to Gary's statue, guzzle piss out of his cock and town water, and you fucking feel better. So doing that. And the other thing is the Gary the Goat political party, which is, if anyone's been following the backstory, it sort of came out where I was getting really pissed off at just fucking getting fined and regulated for doing my work, and just this general thing of just over-regulation. I didn't want to become one of those guys who just continually complains about the fucking, the nanny state and the fucking all the PC and all that. I wanted to fucking maybe do something about it other than that, and I thought, well, fuck it, start up a political party. And so I telegraphed it maybe 2 elections ago, and I mentioned the money thing, where central banks print our own money. And then the last election, without on board, some people contacted me to help me with the administration, because I have a lot of trouble getting help in what I do, because a lot of people want to hang out with me, but the promise of doing something often is just a cover for fucking, I'll help you, but come over to my place and crack open a beer and fucking, I can't get any fucking work done. So, want to be my mates, which is fucking really nice, but my main thing is I haven't got enough time to see my own fucking mates now, because I'm working hard and fucking family and all this Gary stuff. So I found an administrator from Canberra who would help me out. But they said they worked for the government. They couldn't give me some full details. I basically within the first few days, just said, you guys work for ASIO, don't you? And they had me on the line. They couldn't let go of me because they admitted it. And they said, we can't fucking tell people and all this. Anyway, as it turns out, they've just basically got all my information and derailed the application into the Australian Electoral Commission just before Turnbull called the early election from the double disillusionment last election. And, it was all a bit weird, all a bit John Grisham. And I basically just said, well, fuck it, right vote, go on the ballot paper and a post. And then a couple of scrutineers, counters of voters on that last election basically got to me and said, mate, you're getting about 5 to 10% of the vote, the national fucking vote, without even being on the ballot paper. And I'm thinking, fuck, no wonder ASIO was up my fucking ass. And private investigators are going, yeah, mate, you've got twice as many followers as every other political party in Australia combined. And you're talking about printing your own money, Gary Bucks, bypassing the central banks. They'll be, fucking people get knocked off for that shit. You just look into it. Saddam, Gaddafi, fucking JFK, fucking Hitler, fucking people from all sides of the political spectrum throughout history, fucking, the war machines come down on you if you basically try and present a free market solution to the very core of the whole world, and that is fucking money. They're basically trying to monetize every human interaction there is, and then have a monopoly on creating that money. So we have to fucking pay taxes back to these people who create money out of thin air. And it's like, anyway, anyone who's looked into it, it's the core of the new right, which is the voting bloc rising up, which has just abandoned the left, because it's just like the left is just basically all this social engineering based on printing more money, and it's never ending. And it's collectivism, which is fucking dying. It's fucking thriving in the fucking mainstream media and what we're being told, but in the voting bloc, people want the free market because collectivism, which is basically governments run by the central banks going, you give us all your power and money and we'll use it for the greater good, and then, if you don't believe in that, you obviously can't, because you don't believe in the greater good. And they're also saying, we don't let the free market give the greater good, because it'll just end up with anarchy. All these big companies will just basically take over the world and fuck you over. But the reality for anyone who's looked into sort of economics and money is that big companies can only really fucking fuck people over when they've got the government in their pocket. And that's what's happening now. All the governments are in debt, so big business can just fucking buy them off. Here's a donation. Now you give us fucking taxpayer funded money and all, but most importantly, regulate against any competition, which the energy industries are doing. The medical industry is famous for it. It's like if the comedy industry became so big that with all the clubs around the cities, the traditional comedy industry, which funnels into corporate and then TV work, if it became so big, it went to the government and said, here's some fucking money. Can you give us some fucking... No, this is the idea. Fucking laughter's the best medicine. They tell the government that. And then they go, well, therefore, can we have anyone who comes to one of our comedy clubs, can they get a rebate off Medicare? So, i.e., can we get free taxpayers' money for people coming to our venues? And obviously people are going to be coming in because it's fucking free. And then they get to the point where they go, we don't want any other competition. We don't want anyone just fucking going into a pub like I do out in the outback and doing comedy, because comedy's dangerous, man. You could offend someone, and you've got to have regulated comedians. So you ban someone who doesn't come up within their system, and then that's the comedy world, where it's just left-wing comedians who just fucking say politically correct things. Actually, that is the comedy industry. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. The free market people are basically saying, if there's no collectivism, if there's no fucking tax, all that tax money that we pay and all the time we do to fucking adding up our tax can be put into us. It's a bit like the church. They hand out stuff, you know. Oh, fuck, aren't they nice? But churches don't pay tax, man. They've got all this extra money. Fuck, if we had extra money, I reckon we'd be fucking handing out, or individuals would be handing out stuff to where we want the money to go. And that's the cusp of what I'm about. And that's why the fucking, you know, ASIO, which is the Australian CIA, they're going to be on to anyone new politically coming in. They'll let the shooters party in and fucking, you know, sex party and all these weird and wackos in if they can fill out the forms, but they know they're never going to be fucking big. But I just happened to come along on the back of a whole lot of cunt jokes with Gary, and then I launched this fucking money system, and they're just going, fuck, they're onto me. I've got some people helping me set up. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I'm setting up an application for the Australian Electoral Form Commission, and I need 500 signatures, which I'm finding hard to get. I can do it, but I've got to go out in the street and door knock, and I'm doing all this other work by myself while I'm trying to get, you know, you mean the kids are overseas, the fucking pressure's on to get stuff done. But I'm moving on to this political party stuff. Someone is helping me. Someone has approached me to help me. Now, if they are bona fide, they'll just laugh at what I'm about to say now, but they are exactly the fucking same as the people approach me in Canberra. Their mannerism, everything, really strictly professional, and we're just here to help you. Don't want to talk anything personal with me, which is great because I just want to do work, but it rings of a fucking another ASIO fucking sting. Now, bear in mind, last time the people contacted me, they had a Facebook name called Nick, and when I put it up on the net, someone pointed out that NIC was an acronym, is also an acronym for National Intelligence Community on the ASIO website, which is just basically sleeper cells of people ready to be activated. Like, oh mate, fucking you're in this area, can you contact this guy? You are a tradie, and you know, so it's all very secret. It's fucking alive and well. Don't. This is no longer paranoia. It's just fucking reality, man. So they're the fronts I'm working on now with this political party. You know, it's basically an Australian version of Trump. It's different, but that's where the voting bloc is. All the media and everything are just trying to label the alternate right, which Hillary Clinton named, and the alternate right are trying to say, no, we're the new right. But the mainstream media is trying to make them out to be fucking far right, which has got heavy identity politics, the same as the left. The left is like identity politics, with affirmative action and everything, and the right is, you know, basically the opposite of affirmative action. So the new right is basically just meritocracy, decentralisation, and freedom of speech particularly. So that's what I'm standing for, and that's what I'm up against. And the new right, pretty well most YouTube, internets, all the social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, the content makers making this new right political statements are getting demonetized and fucking censored heavily. It's coming out that it's heavily left leaning, which is basically all coming down from the central banks. They want to promote collectivism, which is basically just fucking give us all the power. So they're creating their own money out of nothing. When they do all this quantitative easing, we've got to put more money into the system. That's just to create inflation. Because if money doesn't exist, there's nothing on the periodic chart which is got anything to do with money. Money is just an idea. So how do they fucking pull this off? Well, they've just got a monopoly on creating it. Anyone else who creates it, you get fucking shut down. That's what I'm trying to do with the Gary the Goat Party. What I'm actually trying to do is incredibly easy because money does not exist. You can infinitely decimalize it, so you don't have to create more of it. You just got to fucking create more inflation so that if look, I know there's losing a lot of people, but if deflation happens, it's because of the free market wanting renewable energy, preventative medicine, locally grown food, and a lifestyle which is based on quality, not just endless earning money for fucking tax and all the bills we've got to pay. So we're on the cusp of freedom if we can fight for it, and I'm fighting for it. If anyone who wants to fucking help me, I'll put the form below. I need 500 signatures for this Gary the Goat Party. and we've got the Constitution. I'm going to have a crack at putting it in, and I'm going to crack at this movie, and I want this fucking taxiderm, and I want the statue, and, you know, I want some income to fucking get this going. I'm trying the Gary rum. I realise that crowdfunding doesn't work when you just go to the crowd and go, oh, can I have some money for what I've given you? Most people think, fuck, you must be loaded from people, 2 million people giving it to you. Don't give you money, you get a tiny bit trickle in, and you get a whole lot of people going, oh, fuck, you're a beggar. It's like, no, man, I'm just trying to get money for what I do. And that's why I love the Gary movie to go off. If I could actually get paid for what I do, which is making the film, that's the best for me. Because it's what I want. It's what I fucking love doing, what you guys want to watch, rather than me getting this sort of crony capitalism stuff where I've got to find other products and service to bang the image of Gary on in order to monetize it. It's just a fucking waste of time for me. It's not where my head really wants to be, but a lot of admin on that. So that's the story, guys. Gary the Goat, pretty well to me, symbolises, you know, he didn't die, he lived. It's just fucking freedom and transparency, and Gary lived a fucking free, awesome life, and we all want to do that, and I'm fucking still having a fucking go despite Gary gone. So, yeah, he's going to live on in our memories and our actions, hopefully. Vote GOAT. Thanks, guys.